You know the feeling. Frantically checking emails, clearing out 50 tiny notifications, reorganizing your desk for the third time today. Sure, it gives you a quick dopamine hit. You feel like you're moving incredibly fast. But being genuinely productive, that means taking deliberate actions that actually, measurably move you closer to your main goal. Remember this, being busy and being productive are two completely different things. You can be frantically busy all day long and achieve absolutely nothing of real value.
And this brilliantly illustrates trap number 2, a complete lack of clarity. Imagine jumping into a car, slamming on the gas pedal, and just tearing down the highway at top speed. But you haven't actually set a destination in your GPS. It sounds crazy, right? Because no matter how much gas you burn, you aren't going to end up where you want to be. Well, effort without a clear, defined goal is exactly like that. It just scatters your valuable energy in literally every direction and completely wastes your fuel.
Which brings us right to the third trap, working in a vacuum without any feedback. I want you to ask yourself honestly right now, am I actually working the right way? Because just working harder is almost never the answer when your results suddenly dry up. If you keep doing the exact same thing, day in and day out, expecting a different result, well, you're just going to burn out, plain and simple. Sometimes the absolute most productive thing you can do is just stop, step back, and critically evaluate your methods.
The exact solution to that trap is what we call the feedback loop. Here's how it works. You take action, and inevitably, you're going to make a mistake. And by the way, a mistake isn't a failure. It's vital data. It's proof you're trying. But here is where most people completely break the chain. They skip the feedback part. They just go right back to step 1 and try harder. No. To actually progress, you must gather that feedback and crucially use it to adjust your direction. Repeating the same mistake over and over without any adjustment, that's what completely halts your progress. So, the crucial point is understanding the fourth and final trap. Inconsistency. And this really comes down to the critical difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation, it's just a feeling. It's like a sugar rush. You have incredibly high energy on day 1, maybe day 2 if you're lucky, but it inevitably crashes. Discipline, however, is a permanent execution system. It's what ensures you take consistent action even when you really don't feel like it. True success is never the result of one single day of intense, motivated effort. It's built on the gritty, permanent reality of discipline. So how do we actually stop spinning our wheels and build lasting success? Well, it definitely doesn't require burning yourself out on all the wrong things. Instead, it requires 4 strategic pillars working in perfect harmony. First, you actively choose the right direction. Second, you set a crystal clear goal. Third, you systematically learn from your mistakes through a constant, honest feedback loop. And finally, you take consistent, disciplined action day after day. It's the combination of these 4 steps that actually moves the needle in your life. Let's distill all of this down into one definitive equation. Smart work plus hard work equals success. Listen, hard work alone is never enough, period. You have to bring intelligence to your effort. You must know exactly where you're going, why you're going there, and precisely how you're going to improve your approach along the journey. Your raw effort absolutely requires a compass. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly important question. Ask yourself right now, do I need to work harder or do I need to change my direction? Take a hard, really honest audit of your daily routines and your current projects. If you're putting in the exhausting hours but the dial just isn't moving, the answer is right in front of you. And hey, if you have a hardworking friend or colleague who is totally exhausted but constantly spinning their wheels, share this explainer with them. They might just need a simple, smart change in direction to finally see the incredible results their hard work truly deserves.
Have you ever wondered hard work करने के बावजूद लोग आखिर फेल क्यों हो जाते हैं? आप रोज मेहनत करते हो, लॉन्ग आवर्स दे रहे हो, अपनी नींद, अपना आराम सब सैक्रिफाइस कर रहे हो, पर फिर भी वो रिजल्ट्स नहीं दिखते जो एक्चुअल में आने चाहिए। ऐसा लगता है ना जैसे किसी ट्रेडमिल पर भाग रहे हो, पसीना तो पूरा निकल रहा है पर आगे 1 इंच भी नहीं बढ़ रहा है, राइट?
तो फिर प्रॉब्लम है कहाँ? ये सच में एक चुभने वाला सवाल है, खासतौर पर तब जब आपको लिटरली ये लगता है कि आप सब कुछ बिल्कुल सही कर रहे हो। बचपन से हमें यही सिखाया गया है ना कि मेहनत कामयाबी की चाबी है। अगर मेहनत पूरी है तो भाई कामयाबी कहाँ छुपी है?
इसका आंसर एक्चुअली बहुत सिंपल है और ट्रस्ट मी ये आपका पूरा पर्सपेक्टिव बदल देगा। देखो, एक तरफ है आपका एफर्ट, मतलब वही ट्रेडमिल पर पसीना बहाना और थक जाना, और दूसरी तरफ है डायरेक्शन, यानी सही गोल की तरफ आगे बढ़ना। असल मसला आपकी मेहनत का है ही नहीं, मसला ये है कि आपकी एनर्जी किसी क्लियर डायरेक्शन में फ्लो ही नहीं कर रही।
सबसे पहली वजह जो हमारी डायरेक्शन को कंप्लीटली खराब करती है वो है हमारी रॉन्ग प्रायोरिटीज। जरा सोचो, दिन भर ईमेल्स चेक करना, हर छोटी नोटिफिकेशन का फौरन जवाब देना या इररेलेवेंट छोटी छोटी टास्क को कंप्लीट करके अपनी टू डू लिस्ट टिक करना, ये सब ना आपको बिजी रखने का एक फेक इल्यूजन क्रिएट करता है। दिन के आखिर में आप एग्जॉस्टेड तो होते हो, पर अपने मेन गोल के करीब 1 इंच भी नहीं बढ़ते।
एक रूल हमेशा याद रखना, बिजी रहना और प्रोडक्टिव रहना ये 2 बिल्कुल अलग चीजें हैं। आप अपने रूम में सबसे बिजी इंसान हो सकते हो, हर वक्त इधर उधर भाग दौड़ कर रहे हो, लेकिन अगर आपकी प्रायोरिटीज ही गलत हैं तो ऑनेस्टली आप कुछ भी वैल्यूएबल अचीव नहीं कर रहे। एक दीवार बनानी है ना तो ईंट सही जगह रखनी पड़ेगी, हवा में हाथ पैर मारने से घर नहीं बनता।
दूसरी सबसे बड़ी वजह है किसी क्लियर गोल का ना होना। जरा इमेजिन करो, आप एक कार में बैठते हो और बस ड्राइव करना शुरू कर देते हो बिना कोई डेस्टिनेशन सेट किए। फिर क्या होगा? आप कितना भी फ्यूल जला लो, गाड़ी कितनी भी तेज चला लो, आप किसी मंजिल पर नहीं पहुंचोगे। आपकी मेहनत, आपका वक्त, वो आपका फ्यूल है, और किसी सॉलिड गोल के बिना ये सब टोटली वेस्ट हो जाता है।
सीरियसली, बिना किसी क्लियर गोल के लगाई गई मेहनत पूरी तरह से वेस्टेड है। अगर आपको एग्जैक्टली यही नहीं पता कि आपको जाना कहाँ है, तो वो सारी लेट नाइट हसलिंग और अर्ली मॉर्निंग ग्राइंडिंग सिर्फ अंधेरे में तीर चलाने जैसी है। स्पीड तो बहुत है आप में, लेकिन आप जा कहीं नहीं रहे।
तीसरी वजह, और ये मेरी फेवरेट है, फीडबैक की कमी। यहाँ मैं आपको एक छोटी सी पॉज टेक्निक के बारे में बताता हूँ। अगर आप किसी चीज पर काम कर रहे हो और रिजल्ट्स नहीं आ रहे हैं ना, तो प्लीज अंधों की तरह और मेहनत मत करो, रुक जाओ। कभी कभी पॉज लेना और खुद से ये सवाल पूछना बहुत जरूरी होता है, क्या मैं वाकई सही तरीके से काम कर रहा हूँ?
इस प्रॉब्लम को हम एक बहुत ही हेल्दी साइकिल से फिक्स कर सकते हैं। स्टेप 1, एक्शन लो। स्टेप 2, उसका फीडबैक लो। और स्टेप 3, अपने अप्रोच को इम्प्रूव करो। देखो यार, गलती करना कोई फेलियर नहीं है, गलती सिर्फ डेटा है, एक सिग्नल है जो बताता है क्या नहीं कर रहा। लेकिन वही सेम गलती बार बार रिपीट करना, वो प्रोग्रेस को लिटरली वहीं रोक देगा। फीडबैक ही वो सिंगल तरीका है जो आपको इस ट्रैप से बाहर निकालता है।
अब आते हैं चौथी से बड़ी वजह पर, इनकंसिस्टेंसी। बहुत से लोग जब शुरुआत करते हैं तो मोटिवेशन हाई डोज होता है उनके पास। पहले दिन आग लगी होती है, दूसरे दिन रूटीन स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो होती है, मोटिवेशन टेम्परेरी है। जैसे ही वो ड्रॉप होती है, एफर्ट भी सीधा 0 जाता है, और डिसिप्लिन की एंट्री होती है। डिसिप्लिन वो चीज है जो परमानेंट रिजल्ट्स क्रिएट करती है, तब भी जब आपका बेड से उठने का बिल्कुल दिल ना कर रहा हो।
तो आखिर इस क्या है? असली सक्सेस एक दिन की इंटेंस क्रेजी मेहनत से नहीं मिलती। ये एक्चुअली इन 4 पिलर्स होती है। सही डायरेक्शन चूसना, अपना गोल क्लियर रखना, फीडबैक के जरिए अपनी मिस्टेक्स सीखना, और पूरे डिसिप्लिन के साथ डेली कंसिस्टेंट एक्शन लेना। कभी 4 से अलाइन होना, लिटरली अनस्टॉपेबल बन जाते हो।
इसलिए अपने दिमाग में ये सिंपल सी इक्वेशन आज ही फिट कर लो। स्मार्ट वर्क प्लस हार्ड वर्क इक्वल सक्सेस। सिर्फ अंधा मेहनत करना कभी काफी नहीं होता, आपको स्मार्ट एलिमेंट ऐड करना ही पड़ेगा। ये पता होना चाहिए कि किस डायरेक्शन में जाना है, क्यों जाना है, और रास्ते में खुद को इम्प्रूव कैसे करना है। सही स्ट्रैटेजी और लगातार मेहनत, बस यही एक्चुअल फॉर्मूला है।
तो इस एक्सप्लेनर को रैप अप करने से पहले मैं चाहता हूं कि आप 2 मिनट निकालकर खुद से पूरी ईमानदारी से एक सवाल पूछो। क्या मुझे एक्चुअली और ज़्यादा मेहनत की ज़रूरत है, या मुझे सिर्फ अपनी डायरेक्शन चेंज करने की ज़रूरत है? इस पर ज़रूर सोचना। हाँ, इसको अपने उस हार्ड वर्किंग दोस्त के साथ लाजमी शेयर करना जो दिन रात लड़ा रहता है पर स्टक है। शायद उसे ज़्यादा मेहनत की नहीं, बस एक बेहतर डायरेक्शन की तलाश है।
Nobody tells you that the worst part of waking up isn't the pain of seeing through the illusion. It's the morning after, when you open your eyes and realize you have no idea who's looking back at you in the mirror. If you've been through a spiritual awakening or experienced what many call ego death, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That strange, dislocating feeling of having the entire foundation of your identity pulled out from under you, while the rest of the world keeps moving as if nothing happened. The life you built, the personality you wore, the goals you chased, all of it suddenly feels like it belonged to someone who no longer exists, and you're left standing in an open field with no map and no compass. Carl Jung studied this exact moment for over 40 years, and what he found will reframe everything you're going through right now. He didn't see this collapse as a crisis. He saw it as a death that had to happen, a psychological clearing that makes room for what he called individuation, the process of becoming the person you were before the world got its hands on you. But most people completely misread what's happening to them at this stage, and that misunderstanding is exactly what keeps them stuck for years after their awakening. Because here's what no one explains clearly enough. Waking up is not the same as arriving. You haven't found yourself, you've only burned down the disguise, and everything that comes next depends on whether you understand the difference. There's a reason you feel worse after awakening than you did before, and it's not because something went wrong. It's because for the first time in your life, you're experiencing reality without a buffer. Every ambition that used to drive you, every social role that gave you a sense of belonging, every belief that made the world feel orderly and safe, none of it holds weight anymore. And that absence creates a kind of vertigo that most people are completely unprepared for. You watch the people around you living inside the same structures you stepped out of, and you feel a loneliness that's hard to put in words, because it's not about being physically alone. It's about seeing a place that no one around you seems to share. Jung understood this because he knew it himself. His own psyche broke open and left him negating groundlessness. He recognized that the ego, the identity for your whole life, was never the real you. It was a survival mechanism in childhood conditioning, expectations, and the need to be accepted. When it collapses, not empty, you're exposed to a fool who never taught how to hold. That grief carrying isn't the person you lost. It's for the years you locked inside a version of yourself that was never big enough to contain you. And the raw confusion right now is actually the most honest state you need as long as you can remember, because nothing is filtered anymore. It's at this age that almost everyone falls into. And if you don't catch it early, pull you right back into the you just leaped from. The most dangerous thing you can do after ego death is rush to fill the emptiness with new identity before you understood what the old hunting. And this is where the majority of people go wrong. They trade the corporate persona for a spiritual persona. They replace old labels with new ones, selling themselves awakened or conscious, and build entire systems around the experience and woken up. Jung had a specific warning. It's the most overlooked in his entire body of work. If you construct a new mask to replace the one that fell, you haven't grown. You've just redefined prison. The goal was never to find a better costume. The goal is to learn how to exist without one. And that means sitting with the most uncomfortable human being, the unfilled truth of you beneath every performance. Keep this shadow work, and he still asking in the process of individuation. Your shadow, everything you've been running from childhood, the anger told was unacceptable, the sad you learned to swallow. The desire is there because the person you were supposed to be. The shadow doesn't wait an invitation. It rushes in like water through a cracked dam and resists. And the people who try to meditate it away or rise above it with positive thinking are the same people who find themselves 3 years later still feeling fractured, still wondering why the awakening that was supposed to set them free left them more than before. You cannot refuse to feel. Not so good. That's the entire mechanism. Something else happens during shadow work that prepares you for. The people in life start to shift. Relationships you thought were solid begin to feel uncomfortable, not because those changed, but because when you stop performing, action built on your performance and their foundation. You start noticing some of the people closest to you were never actually close to the real you. They're close to the mask, and now the mask is on, an unbelievable distance between you that no amount of effort seems to close. This is painful, but it's also a clear sign the process is working. It doesn't just rearrange your inner world, it reorganizes your outer match. Shadow isn't the only buried force that is after ego. There's another one. Jung did it essential to the process of becoming whole. He called it Anna in men and the animus, and the contrasexual energy that's made in but has been taught to suppress. This is in the local sense. It's because I both matter and funny. And the meeting, I got emotional. You were really self or animating your emotional, your hand to be who was conditioned to be agreeable, nurturing, and dating. Your hand holds your resource, your intellectual authority. Replace without you. You feel you have a name for it. That best is somebody something, no matter how much you feel pro. Jung or Jung is acting they come at as a round swing, as young that no existence. This is also through relationship after relationship awakening. Each time leaving a fan person who the same organ. Jung would tell you bluntly, you are not looking for a partner. You're looking for part of yourself you never allowed to exist. The feel for seems of getting lack is your instinct what needs you to integrate. And until you do the work internally, you will keep outsourcing your wholeness to other people who were never meant to carry it you. The integration of your animus is one of the most transformative things that happens during individuation, because you stop looking for your missing half in other people as long as you the entire time. When a man is anima, he gets access to a depth of feeling and that transforms everything in his life. When you're anima, she's a direction of but no longer knowledge. You're about this. You cannot fully know yourself while half of your psyche remains in exile. There is a form of knowing that Jung pointed toward and again in his work, one that's only nothing to take seriously. And it doesn't live in your head. And that refers to people because they've been taught that intelligence function of the body has been reality, and narrating, and is not a spiritual. It's the practical thing you can do to gate the rebuilding of your life. Think about the times you've had a gut feeling and grit, the relationship your body had months before your mind pulled up, the opportunity that looked perfect on paper, but made your chest tighten every time you thought about it. Disinized your way in what you know. And it wasn't irrelevant. That was a deeper intelligence through the elaboration. your names and symbols. It speaks through the body itself. And after awakening, and comes out and ever, because the ego mental chatter is learning it out. Body or your mind has even formed the thought. When an environment is in you, and when you're in once, and when you're sliding back into an old pattern. Tighten the head in your chin, you agree to something. The softness you feel when you stumble onto something that genuinely matters to you. Nothing is reflection of, and you for everything is not. It is the most form of intelligence, and has been waiting your entire life for you to stop overriding it. And body alone next almost everyone. What to do with my life now? You've the old motivations feel hollow. What drove you forward now feel like they belong to someone else's story. The mistake most people make is try their way to a new purpose, sitting down in the middle, attempting to logic their way toward meaning, simply go through plan. Purpose after ego death doesn't come from mind. It's contracted. Alive versus numb, versus dragged on. Lead is not something you invent. It is something you uncover, live in the past to speak, lives in your life, so metabolized that now gives you an understanding most people don't have. In the most is, becoming the with true deeper than pressure ambition. Your body already knows is. Your nervous system might run it. Struggling already, listing these signals practical or stick, and you have to override the same way you once overrode your intuition. Direction. The full truth about you is that I have a finish line. Limitations free, which are permanent environment where all work is done and final. And the moment you start accepting that, you actually start this chasing. You're still uncovering new layers of self in it is, still surprised by what is unconscious forward, until that as evidence of a life foolish process left incomplete. What transforms is not the struggle, but your relationship to it. Where you once run from uncertainty, you begin to see it as this real place. You once into a fixed feels secure, you start holding with open hands, standing that need to be fine, it goes regain control. Relationships change beyond a role, or seeking your mind in someone else. Being in a minute, and your thinking and your body's knowing that is what allows you to truly meet another human being, instead of just using fit. Your work shifts because it starts from alignment rather than desperation, feltness rather than worth. And the end of the your awakening, that hollowed out silence made you feel at home in yourself again. It's replaced not by constant happiness, because that was always the ego's promise, by coherence. Steady grants your mind, your body, your conscious intentions, and your unconscious steps lead in the same direction. This is the most whispering. The coherence given to you, not handed to you when you've suffered enough. It's brick by brick. Every single time you choose honesty over habit, presence over moments. Your deep message is complicated. You person your conditioning designed. The death of false self was never a punishment. It's the only door that leads to the life came here to live. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to feel ready. The person you're becoming doesn't need you to be ready. They need you to begin. Now, let me ask you something back. What would you do differently tomorrow if you stopped waiting for permission to be who you are? Not ritual and the acceptable version, not the real one. The world already knows how to be. Comments, even if it's you, because it stops being a fantasy and become direction. And if you feel the shift while watching this, subscribe to Fractal. This channel gets real and ready to living.